Thanks so much for joining me for this first impression and a bit of a review of these new Victoria Beckham products. I was really anxious to try their concealer, and then I also picked up a brow product and a lip product, and we'll also be revisiting some of my very favorite Victoria Beckham products. So let's go ahead and get started. I have done a little bit of skincare, but I thought we'd go in with this one. This is by Victoria Beckham. It is the Cell Rejuvenating Priming Moisturizer, and I actually forgot I had this, and I took it out and I realized how pretty it was. So this is one of those great no foundation looks. So it's got a little bit of just slight bit of color to it. And then it also does a nice job of filtering because it has a little bit of a glow. So there, I know there's also the other one. I feel like I had it. Did I ever have that? But I feel like I did. And if I did, I'd put it on the center, but I couldn't locate it. So we'll leave it a bit sheer so we can see how well that concealer works. But I love the golden tone of this. It's really pretty. I'm gonna go really lightly on the front. It does feel quite moisturizing and smooth on the face. I haven't actually opened the box, so let me open it. So I ordered a few things here to try. And I also ordered the fragrance discovery set. Comes in the signature canvas bag. And I got, like I said, this discovery set because I was curious about her fragrances, but I don't really know anything about them. I think it was maybe San Isidro Drive that sounded like something I would like. I can't recall. We're gonna try one on though. And then let's go ahead and look at the concealer. Concealer comes like this. I mentioned I had it shade matched because shade matching is really difficult online, especially if there aren't a whole bunch of swatches out. Like the swatches that are available through companies typically are not, they're not really great, and I don't know why. They're so unclear. I actually get more confused. But what I do appreciate is when they swatch them all together, because then I can get a sense of the undertone of different shades, because I'm always going for the undertone. Oh, sorry, here's what it looks like. It's really sleek and simple, modern, just like her other packaging. It has a little, like a beautiful blue shade right there, like a cobalt shade. That's really pretty. I got L2, which might seem really light. Of course, it comes like this, and you've got to click it to get it to start. The reason I picked this is because I shade matched it to the Chantecaille, the Chantecaille Le Camoflauge Stylo. So this is Chantecaille's Le Camoflauge Stylo, and 4C works really well for me. Oh, okay. Okay, I have to say that the Victoria Beckham is not as peachy nor as bright as Le Camoflauge Stylo. So let me show you. Here's Chantecaille's Le Camoflauge Stylo, and here is the Victoria Beckham L2. So it's not actually as light as I thought it would be. Okay, so this is what we're going to try because I'm not sure how this is going to go. We might do a little color correcting first and then apply this, but let's go under the eye first and see how that goes. We're not gonna put foundation on at this point, but let's go under here. And there's supposed to be some, oh, it's very, I like the texture though. It's a very refined kind of texture. There are some claims here that we'll read about in a little bit, but that's also what was interesting to me. And I know there are other skincare benefits woven in there. So that actually is really nice. It's lighter than something like the Chanel. I know some of you really enjoy the Chanel under eye concealer, but it can be a little bit dry even on some people, or a little bit thick. It is very intense, but this might be a nice alternative between the Chantecaille Le Camoflauge Stylo, which is very nice and fluid and lightweight. It's somewhere in between there, but actually it's a little bit closer to the Chantecaille Le Camoflauge Stylo in terms of its fluidity, but it's creamier than that. And let's try these dark spots. Okay, so far, wow, that's really nice under the eye. Like, I don't know if you can see, but it's very natural. I love that. And then there's still a glow, so it's not absorbing the light. It looks like skin. Love that. Okay, so now we are seeing that it has a yellow tone, even for L2, which I think had the most peach when I compared them to each other with those, like I said, the swatches side by side helped, even though it was the one provided by Victoria Beckham, not as clear, but I could see the differences. That was clear. And this seemed to have the peachiest undertone, which is what I want for these. Okay, actually, That is very nice. Oh wow, okay. So I'm gonna try something else just to see how it plays with other products. Let's go in with that Nars. It's not a color corrector, but I use it as a color corrector. I threw it over here. Okay, so let's try this Nars and then let's try that on top of the Nars. So Nars, this is in that peachy tone. This is an eyeshadow stick, but I've been using it as a color corrector just because it does such a nice job. And then I'm wondering if I put this concealer on top of it, how that will look. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, wait, let's do the eye first. We'll let that sit for a second. Yeah, so it is more yellowy than the Camoflauge Stylo 4C. So it's not an exact one-to-one kind of shade match. But it's working really nicely. Okay, then let's go ahead and apply it on top of this, what I used as a color corrector, and see how well that works. And then I've got some broken capillaries here. Let's see how well this works under there. It's doing a really nice job for as fluid as it is. Sometimes you get that fluid texture and you don't get the concealing power. It looks really nice. Oh wow, so this is kind of the speed of concealer that works for this degree of discoloration. So when I had more intense discoloration, like Clé de Peau was the only thing really that was going to do anything for me. And I have been able to use things like Camoflauge Stylo to just gently cover up some darkness really gradually. Let's go on the chin here. Oh gosh, little pieces of hair everywhere. I am thinking of cutting bangs. I don't know if that's a bad idea, a good idea, like curtain bangs. I feel like every time I've cut my bangs, I've regretted it, but my hair grows fast. So if I don't like it, I can always grow it out. But I feel like it might hide the growth where I get, my gray hair grows in right here, of course. But I feel like if I have bangs, it won't be as evident as quickly. I don't know. I'm going to try this here. I know it's probably going to crease, but we'll try. So you will know, because I have a hair appointment soon, you will know if I got bangs or not based on wherever this comes in the sequence of videos. The next sit down video. I've got the videos I filmed with my sister still in the mix there, but we'll see if I cut my bangs. Let me know if you have an opinion. I mean, it's going to be too late by the time I post this video. It will have either happened or not happened, but just curious what we think about bangs. I think they're kind of high maintenance, but I also like how they frame the face. So I am considering that. But like I said, every single time I've cut my bangs, I have not been happy. So I don't know why I think I'm gonna be happy this time with bangs. So I feel like I'm talking myself out of it, but I also kind of want to see. Wow, I'm really liking this concealer. Okay, I'm a little surprised because I don't know. Concealer, I only really like a couple of concealers. I've tried so many concealers and I've not liked so many concealers. That's why you see the same ones. Clé de Peau, the Camoflauge Stylo. You see, what is another one I like? I used to use the La Prairie quite a bit right in there and then they didn't carry it anymore. So there are a few more that I liked from Sephora, but I don't typically go back to them. But this looks really like that was so effortless and I have on no foundation. Okay, let me look. Yeah, let me lean in. See if you can see what I am seeing. Like, it is very seamless with the skin. And L2, surprisingly, I think is the right shade match. So far, I do. So we're going to use mostly Victoria Beckham products today. And I realized, as I was thinking about how to put this together, how many Victoria Beckham products I rely on a daily basis. I really do. I use Trench all the time. I love their highlighter, their brow product, the Baby Blade. So speaking of Baby Blade, I picked up the Feather Fix product and I know they had ones in different shades, but I really wanted to try the clear. And I thought we would do this in the order that I learned how to do brows from a Chanel makeup artist, which was actually to do the brow gel first. I don't always do that, but I appreciate that. Oh, look at the little, it's like teeny, I'll put it on my face. It's like the teeniest, tiniest little brush. It's very different than other brow brushes I've used. And they're very even, the bristles. It's like a plastic bristle. So, well, let's see if this helps. So the idea behind doing the gel first is to see what the brows actually look like, how much you have to work with before filling them in. I don't know why I don't do that all the time, but I guess because I know how many brows I have or how much I have to work with. So I feel like that's not, oh, okay. I just saw some bits of the brow gel fall off my eyebrows. So wait, maybe it's because it's new. That was really interesting. It seems like it's really thin. Let's keep going. So far it's not really, that is weird. I see like I don't know if you can see, I can see droplets of it, but it's not really adhering or not really moving my brows where I want them to go. I mean, the brush is, but then it's not staying. Okay. I'm curious about the other colors now, how that would go, because I feel like the bristles on here actually would do a good job of laying down some pigment and essentially draw on some brows with some color, which of course we're not going to see with the clear. I'm just trying to like get them as three-dimensional as possible right now. Just get them up and out, up and out. So I'm kind of going against the grain to fluff them up. And they're not really fluffing very much. Okay, so the hold here is more, it's more gentle. Okay. Do you see there's like little droplets on there? I don't know if it's because it's new, but it's kind of not helping. I was hoping it would be like a brow lamination kind of thing that would really get these going where I want them to go. But I feel like nothing is really happening here. Maybe I need to let it set a little bit or go slowly or read directions. I don't know. But so far, not much happening here. Really liking the concealer though. Okay, well, we're gonna let that just kind of sit for a minute, let it dry. We're gonna go in with one of her eyeshadow sticks. This one's in caramel. I don't know if I've ever featured this. I have all of them, except I can't find one right now. So just gonna do a quick eye. Yeah, as you know, I use Trench all the time. Love a good eyeshadow stick. Then we're gonna go in with Trench right underneath, just to cancel redness. Oops. Don't make the mistake I just made where I used my finger where I smudged that out, the caramel, on the bottom, because then you'll just end up adding color. Okay, next let's go in with a little bit of, okay, I can't find, I think it's Oyster, I can't find that. So we're gonna go in with Chiffon, the lid luster. This one right here. I'm gonna tap that on just the center of the eye. Just wanna add a little bit of brightness. But yeah, do you see how eyebrows on me? Like, I need eyebrows. Okay, let's just do this. So that's what it looks like. It's really pretty. Just a little, just like this much. Teeny tiny bit. Okay, and I have tried her mascara, but I still love the Faux Lash Mascara by Chantecaille. This one right here. So we're gonna add that. It's gonna help a lot. Except when this happens, just let it dry and then I'll remove it with a spoolie. I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, now it's dried a little bit. So we're gonna take the spoolie and I'm gonna go in with this baby blade anyway in a moment. And then I just I need to use this to remove the mascara. So once it's dry, just make sure it's dry first. And then I just scrape it off. That way it's not smudged everywhere. Same here. Anywhere where I accidentally got it on my eyelid. Let's go in with Clé de Peau right here in the corners just to clean up. As usual. So I have a Clé de Peau concealer brush. Now we're going to go in with the baby blade. This is in dark brown, and this is one of my more natural brow products because it doesn't cover every single area on my brows. It just draws in individual brow hairs. Okay, that brow gel has dried a little bit, so it does give me hope that it will help these brows stay in place. And then just really lightening the pressure here, otherwise it's going to be too heavy. So I went light-handedly here and then more heavily-handed, more pressure here, and then really like the spoolie on this to break up anything that was too thick. Greater pressure here on the arch and then towards the end, and then lighter pressure here towards the front. I read a little bit about the brow product because when I combed through with the spoolie, I could feel that there was some hold. Like I had to comb through, and the nice thing was it didn't flake when I combed through. That tells me it's not going to be flaking all around during the day. But I read here that it says for the most natural look, use crystal clear, which this one is. For a more groomed look, use your shade of Feather Fix. Allow 1 minute for the gel to set before brows are locked in place all day. So it did need some time to set, but like I said, I had a little bit of trouble getting them in the direction I wanted them to actually set in. It also says for a slicked back look, it says to use a Feather Fix slowly across the whole brow. And then it says to use the detailing brush to separate and lift brow hairs straight upward. And then use the back side, this flat side here. There's like a, you can see the bristles on one side and then it's flat on the other side. It says to use the back flat side of the brush to press hairs against the skin, which I feel like I've used another product that wanted you to do that with the brows versus just brushing through as a brow gel. So let me just see again, now that we've had a chance to fill these in, and let's do another pass here. I feel like maybe with this product, it might be nice to do the brow pencil first because I like these little bristles. They might actually break up the pigment kind of like the brow spoolie does. I think, I don't know. We'll have to try it, but I feel like that actually might do a nice job as well. And then just to push them maybe in the direction I want them to go. Like down here, if I push as they're setting maybe. I feel like there's like going to be a bit of a learning curve here because I could see that it did hold. It just initially is more fluid and less gel-like when I initially apply it. But now that I'm holding them, do you see it's actually working really nicely? So I'm going to just have to figure out the best way for my brows, which is a coarse texture, and they're very determined to go in the direction they want to go in, which is not always the direction I want them to go in. Yeah, maybe a bit of a learning curve with this. Not as easy as other brow products to use, but maybe a better result. I don't know. We're gonna have to, like I said, experiment. Let's go in next with some products that I know and love by Victoria Beckham. So we're gonna use this contour. This is a great shade. I'm just gonna draw it in here. I've been seeing her commercials all over my YouTube, how she talks about how all of the other contours are, or bronzers are not to this shape. This is one of the few that has a very slim shape. Actually, I don't know. There might be another one, but I'm not aware of. But it allows you to precisely really just target where you want things applied. So I'm gonna go ahead with a number, what brush do I have that's not dirty? I need to clean my brushes. Okay, so this is a B02 brush. So let me use this. I always like to place it a little bit higher and then brush upward because it just works better for my face shape to get that a little bit higher up. And then right along the jawline. And then into the forehead. Oh, by the way, this shade is, what are you? This shade is Marble. And then the trick is for me on this contour stylus in the nose area to keep it more towards the center of my nose versus, let me see, how can I explain this? So the trick, whoa, it's blown out here. So the trick with the contour stylus in the nose area, actually, I don't think I was as careful as I usually am because I was doing that really fast, is to keep this really close to the bridge of the nose versus going outwards to blend it inwards. So blending this way in versus out. So up and down and then in. Okay, and then let's go ahead with a little bit of her highlighter, which I love. I think it's so pretty. We've got the highlighter here in Pearl, just on the bridge. Just for now, we'll add it in other places, but I just wanted to add on to the nose area right now. Let's go in with one of my favorite cheek products. Yeah, we're just gonna take Major here, this color, in her stick. This is my favorite cream blush of hers. Just gonna put some on the brush, just so I have more control. Really beautiful. So let's go in with that. Beautiful pink shade. Okay, so this will be interesting to go on top of her concealer and see if it gets disrupted or not. I'm gonna go really gently though. So I'm gonna try not to mess it up. Okay, so now it did reveal just a little bit of darkness, but let's go in with the concealer again and see if we can layer them a little bit. Then let's add a little bit more under the eyes just to brighten. I was going back and forth with the concealer and the blush till I got here. So I kind of just layered them on top until it looked where I was okay with it. I got this Posh Balm lip product and I love these very effortless lip products. This is in Colette. Oh yeah, so this is making that same sound. Remember the YSL product I tried on that made this sound? So there were several shades to pick from and I picked Colette and it looked really pretty. So I can tell it's like a translucent kind of product, which I love. So let's see. Okay, and this is new, but it has a little bit of like a waxier feel versus something like a Chantecaille. What is theirs called? Theirs is called Lip Sheer. So this is more like a lip balm texture. Okay, so that is Colette. Oh, that's really pretty. I like that. It's just enough color. So that's what the swatch looks like. So it's definitely sheer. Okay, now it's not, just not winding down. So I don't know, great. Okay, so I don't know if this is like a faulty, because usually you are able to wind this down because guess what? When I put the lid on, it's gonna smash it if it doesn't go all the way down, I think, or maybe not. I think there's enough room here, but typically it should wind all the way down. So I don't know, let me know if you got this, but I like this is the kind of product I would put in my bag and just use all the time. Okay, let's go in with a little bit more Pearl, the highlighter, and I'm just gonna apply it right here. Okay, so she has 3 fragrances: Portofino, Sweet 302, and San Isidro Drive. So I noticed on this one, at least, okay, so this is $30 here for the fragrance set, which is worth it to me versus buying a fragrance I don't know if I'm going to like. But then also I got a coupon code to apply to a full size worth $30. So let me say that again. So I got a coupon worth $30 to apply to a full size. So I was a little surprised that I got that, which was nice, because if I do like one of these, I would be able to apply the cost of this to a full size, which is such a good idea. I wish other companies would do that. It's so hard to determine if you're gonna like a fragrance or not based on your own chemistry. I really appreciate that. So let's see, the one that I feel like I was drawn to. Okay, so Portofino has the Bergamot Amber Vetiver, which sounds right up my alley. Sweet 03, no, 3. Sweet 0, why do I keep saying that? Sweet 302 Black Cherry Leather Tobacco Leaf. That one sounds lovely for the fall. And then you have San Isidro Drive Saffron Rose Black Amber, which sounds more complex. So the simplest one to me sounds like Portofino 97. So let's try that one because I feel like I would like that one. And let me know if you have any of her fragrances because I'd love to know what you love. But it comes like this in this little box, and then you have the 3 cards that go with them, and then 3 of the fragrances. So let's try this Portofino. Okay, there's a very like bright immediately. But once that dries down, what am I smelling in there? There's something else. Is it the vetiver I'm smelling? It's really nice. Yeah, there's a depth to this one. It's not all bright. It smells very sophisticated, but also very simple, which I like for fragrances. So they describe this citrus woody. Oh, no wonder I love it. I like that bergamot. I like that woodiness to it. Thrill of a secret escape. It's got a euphoric hit of Calabrian bergamot, thing that I smelled right away. A black pepper. It's very faint though, the black pepper, because I don't love a lot of spice. Crisp white sheets suffused with incense and amber. Oh, that reminds me a little bit of the 724, like linen scent. No wonder I like that. Infused with incense and amber. Oh, it says patchouli and vetiver lingering on the skin of a significant other. So the patchouli is very minimal though. So I don't love patchouli, but I know that it's a nice balance, but I sense more of the vetiver. So that's lovely. Okay, so this is it for the final look. I feel like it's really fresh looking, and quick rundown of all of the products. Let me just look in the mirror. I haven't even looked in the mirror. I'm just looking in the viewfinder. Yeah, it looks, okay, it looks kind of shiny here, but in real life, it looks really beautiful like skin. It doesn't look like I have spent as much time as I did on this makeup. It looks pretty effortless. And it looks like I just have nice skin and I put on some color, which is my favorite kind of makeup because I don't want to look like I have a lot of makeup on. I don't want to look like I spent a lot of time on it, but in reality, these kinds of looks take more time. Like I used this Chanel foundation the other day and it was so fast, so effortless, and the skin looked perfect, but it also doesn't have this appearance to it. Like this really is skin. This is skin-like, and this is just skin. So that's, I think, the difference between something like the Chanel foundation, which is beautiful, looks really natural, but is still a little bit too perfect for real life. So this shows a bit of the imperfection, which makes it look real. So I love this kind of look in real life. I do love this for camera. Like I love how it looks, but I love this for real life. Now it's going to be probably a little fussy in that I have to be careful not to touch anything because I haven't set. So either going in with a more heavy duty primer or something like the Skin Defender, that product, what is it called? The Face Defender. That one might be a nice product to put on top here just to make sure things don't move around. But let me just talk about this concealer first. Wow, I'm impressed. It's very hard to impress me with a concealer, but I am impressed with this. In L2, which I would not have guessed would have been the correct shade for me, but looking at it here, it looks like the correct shade. Like under the eye, it worked well. It worked well in my dark spots. I think it worked a little bit better to put down a color corrector first, depending on the degree of darkness, but I was still able to work with it and layer it with the blush kind of back and forth because they're both so creamy. They're not powdery. So I feel like it was really easy to go ahead and just gently layer them on top of each other until we got here where it looks pretty good. Like it looks like skin. So yeah, impressed with this. I'm glad I picked this up. The brow product. Okay. I was hoping this had more hold to it, but I also have a feeling there's a learning curve to this. So maybe I need to do my brow pencil first and then break it up with this and then maybe hold it up against my brows, but it didn't flake. So if you want just minimal hold at the onset and then just for it to stay there, that works. The reason why it didn't work as well for me is that my hair is very strong in the direction it wants to go in. If I want to move or alter that direction, it takes a pretty heavy duty gel to do that. But it does, though, freeze everything in place nicely. So right now, my brows are like, they're not gonna go anywhere, I can tell. But it's also not crunchy and crispy and flaky, which when I first started using brow products would do that, would kind of flake, but it's not doing that. I'm gonna experiment with this one a little bit more. It might be more, what's the word I'm looking for? High maintenance in application, but it might have a better results than other brow products I have is my feeling about that one right now. And then this other product, this lip product is lovely. Again, it's a waxier feel than say the Chantecaille Lip Sheer. It's not as glossy. Like I wouldn't categorize it as a glossy product. I would categorize it more as a balmy product. I had to turn off and on the camera because I was looking really red, which I'm not. Okay, so as for the concealer, this says it doesn't crease. I'm gonna watch it tonight. We're going to dinner to see how that actually works, if it creases or not. It also says that it will help with dark circles and hyperpigmentation over time. So I want to see if that is actually true. I will continue to use this. It's very lovely though. I really liked the skin-like appearance to this. This is probably my favorite thing that I picked up. There's some proprietary ingredients that it talks about, like TFC8 is the proprietary formula by Augustinus Bader. Reduces the appearance of fine lines and dark circles and decreases eye puffiness and improves the appearance of hyperpigmentation. So we shall see. But that's it. I was really anxious to try these products and revisit some of my very favorite Victoria Beckham products. Please do let me know what you love by Victoria Beckham, because a lot of her products, like I said, have become part of my regular routine. But that is it for today's video. So please take care of each other. Stay well if you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.